Wyatt begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Wyatt, and I'm your host, Wyatt O'Brien Evans. Grr, woof, goddammit, woof, woof, woof. Well, this episode of Wyatt is the first in my new series entitled Bedtime with Porn Guys. Let me say it again. Bedtime with Porn Guys. You know, after some contemplation and deliberation, I decided to do this series because adult entertainment or porn can be an integral part of the lives of more than a few gay or SGL, same gender loving men, for a variety of reasons. And with COVID, viewing porn can be the safest way of scratching that itch. You know, if you catch my drift. Today's special guest is a popular masculine daddy type performer who puts the triple X into sexy. I mean, this gentleman sets the screen and your loins aflame and ablaze. And what's rather interesting is that he entered the biz later in life as a man of a certain age. And he's that guy next door type, you know, athletic and fit, but not overly built and without that steroid overload. But before we welcome our special guest, let me tell you something. Make a point to visit my online home, WyattEvans.com. That's WyattEvans, WyattEvans.com, the go-to destination for LGBTQ news, features, commentary, and entertainment. And y'all, I'm over the moon that WyattEvans.com is visited by nearly 100 countries. Yowza. Nah, actually, that's double yowza. And while you're at WyattEvans.com, check out my smoking hot, HAWT, hot, Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series of novels, which y'all are chock full of masculine romance, action, adventure, and intrigue. And the current installment is entitled Frenzy. Frenzy. Hey, it's all on the yummy, yum, yum, yum. Now, having said all that, let's get to today's show. Our special guest, y'all, is absolutely hot. He's a hot Puerto Rican daddy. Yes, daddy. And this gentleman continues to accumulate a diverse, highly entertaining, to say the least, body of work. He's brought the fire to productions by gay adult companies, including Forbidden Funk Media, Blacks on Daddies, and Raw Nasty Fuckers. This performer is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. And our guest has been cover man for adult entertainment publications, and he's been nominated for multiple Ravens Eden Awards, which are major honors in adult entertainment. And this guy's fan base is quite passionate. So without further ado, Wyatt has the distinct pleasure to welcome Mr. TANCREDO Buff. Talk at me. How the hell are ya?
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be with you, Wyatt, and with all the listeners.
Well, thank you for coming by the Wyatt podcast. Did you catch that pun?
Yes. I got to clarify you. I won 4 Raven Edens Award in the past 4 years.
Whoa, buddy. Oh, my. Well, my God, you just slapped my face, didn't you?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to shortchange you,
Okay.
but no, seriously, I'm glad you did that for me. Thank you very much.
Uh,
Cool. Okay, Mr. Buff.
okay.
Listen, okay, Mr. Buff. Let him. Let's just get down with it. Give us your vitals, your height, your weight, your body type.
Well, I'm 6 feet 2 inches tall. I measured myself not long ago. I thought that I shrunk, but no, I'm still 6'2". Right now, I'm in a very built, stocky weight of 220.
Mm,
Yes, yet I keep working out. Besides that, I have a work that required a lot of strength. Uh,
mm,
I keep a very nice diet. I practically cook every day.
that's great.
Every day is something that I do it for surviving. I learned to cook for surviving,
Right.
and I continue that tradition of trying to cook every day my meals because I could control the flavor. I can control
Mm-hmm.
many other things.
Cool.
Although recently, some of you know that I got married 2 years ago. Uh, since I've been working a little more later than my husband is practically who's cooking now.
Oh,
But he followed my specifications at the time to do things.
well, you know what? We're going to talk about your husband a little bit later in the program, but this
Okay.
is what I want to ask you, and I know a lot of your fans want to know this.
Mhm.
What are you packing? What are you working with?
Uh, if I could say working with, if you mean performers.
No, I'm talking about the package.
Oh, the package. Oh,
Yes, yeah, the package.
yeah. Well, I have a very nice 9 inches plus 6 of width,
Okay.
and some people, well, majority of people say that I have a bubbly ass.
Mm,
And I consider myself if the typical versatile in the world.
okay, you know what? We're going to get into that too, because I got a specific question to ask you about that.
Okay.
But this is what I want to ask you right now.
Mhm.
And this is interesting. You broke into porn, Tancredo, as a man of a certain age. And usually guys begin their adult entertainment careers like in their 20s. How old were you when you entered the industry, and why at that particular point in your life?
Well, I have to clarify that when I search, if it's the right word, I was searching to get into the industry for a long time because I was. However, when I finally got my opportunity, I
Hmm.
was 47.
Oh, okay.
And I came to do my very first flick when I was 49.
Wow. Okay. Um, so what made you say at 49 I'm going to do it? This is when I'm going to do it.
Well, there were some circumstances in my life at that time that I was trying to fight, and I was without a job at that time. I only was depending of one of what was incoming into the house, and
Hmm.
it was not enough to sustain. And I said, if I can get the opportunity, and since I always, you know, dream about doing that, and once I get the opportunity, I said I am going for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say everything that I earned during my porno trajectory is been
Mm-hmm.
to pay bills,
Got it.
pay bills and other things that I was needed by the time,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing else. It barely went to entertaining.
I see.
So, and I said, if I have to do it, if I get the opportunity, why not? I'll do it.
Well, that definitely makes sense. Now,
Yes.
you said this, and I quote, you said in an interview, I endeavor to perform sexually in a way to satisfy others who watch and make them wish they were part of the action, end quote. Let's jump into that. Let's talk about that.
I always believe that the purpose of the entertainer is entertain. The adult performer is to bring the desires of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I am very disciplined in when it comes to work. Understanding that I am laying down with somebody in front of the camera. It's not because I want to be with that somebody. It's because I know that somebody's going to be watching. And those are the people who we owe our careers. We
Mm-hmm.
have to please them. So I'm doing my best to please them, not to please my sexual companion, to please them. And
Mm-hmm.
if I get into a very nice chemistry with my other performer, oh my God, we set your screen on fire. So my motto is I am entertaining people. There's people watching me fucking get sucking, whatever you can call it, but I
Mm-hmm.
have to please those. And if they're happy, they're happy. If I always said that if I receive a message saying to people that yes, that they see my picture, that I jerk off and come with watching me doing that, for me that is a big accomplishment. A big accomplishment because that means
Mm-hmm.
that I'm doing a great job.
And Tancredo, I have to copy that because watching your performances on film, I can tell that you're really into it, that you do want to give the viewer exactly what they want.
Exactly.
Because,
That's the purpose.
because you got some performers who are wooden, who don't seem to be all there. And I also think, too, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I think some of the so called gay SGL male performers are actually straight or bisexual. They're not strictly gay.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, some performers are what it's called in the industry gay for pay. They do it because they're receiving a payment, but in the real life, they don't look at that way. And there have been several through the years, and I remember a case of one in my mind. It's escape his name, but he was very popular in the end of the 80s and the beginning of the 90s. It was a blonde
Mm-hmm.
guy. Um, he was very popular. He was practically in many productions of Falcon, and it happens to
Mm-hmm.
be that that man in real life, he was a straight guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that he was quoted from an interview that he didn't like to kiss men because
Okay.
he grows of kissing another man, but he didn't mind to him to get sucked and to him fuck an ass, but it was because he was paid to do that. That he had that type that Falcon was advertising at that moment, and he went for it. Well, he was his purpose. Maybe it was money too, but he retired, and the last thing I heard is that he was a photographer in Chicago, I think, one of those cities. But he said that he was just for that.
Just gay for pay.
It's a gay for pay.
Well, let me ask you. Describe for us your very first on-screen experience, and what was it like, and did you learn anything from it?
I would never forget that day.
Uh-oh.
I was supposed to do three-way.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, because it was with the production is more oriented to Black and Latino performers. And days before, I was looking to some of the videos, and some of the models said, "Oh my goodness, this is gonna be very interesting." So I was there, and I found out that I was shooting with this white guy and this other Puerto Rican guy. The Puerto Rican guy is very known now as Saul Laynat. And the other guy, his name escaped from my mind, but he was a very good performer. And I was so nervous. By the time he came, the first performer came first. Saul came later, and I was so nervous that at one point I went to greet. I sat down. I went to greet him, and I greeted him, and went and sat down again because he noticed that I was so nervous. So he grabbed me by the hand, and he gave me a very big, nice hug and kiss.
Okay.
And he told the director, "Say, I'm warming him up." That was all. And once we get into the room, my anxiety, everything vanished. It was like I was doing that for all my life, and we did a very nice, very nice scene. Some of the things happened in that day that I'm not going to say now, but it's a long story. But the thing is that Saul was with us halfway. The director called him and sent him home. We continue. The other guy and I. The name is Ryan, I think it was, and we continue performing. And when we were done, I remember the assistant come and say, "Well, you're now officially a porn star." And I said, "No, I'm not." They said, "Why?" Because I have to wait until the people watch it to see. That was really nice. Then almost 2 months later, if I could say a month and a half later, I did my second and third scene, and one of those scenes was with Saul, and it was fantastic. I didn't feel that anxiety. I just got ready. When they call action, immediately I went to it.
Okay. Let me ask you. You got warmed up. Let me ask you this. Do the sexual positions you assume on screen run the gamut? Are you top, bottom, and versatile, or what?
I'm versatile.
Okay.
I always said to everybody, I'm a versatile guy. Most of the time, in most of the scenes, you can see me topping another guy, but there were several scenes that I am the bottom,
Hmm.
and I think that being a versatile is that you can enjoy both ways.
Mm.
There could be somebody who could tend to like something better than the other. I'm I can say I'm just into the mood of what could be uh could be good for me.
Ah.
But I think that for men that love to have sex with other men, they got to be able to assume any position to know and understand your other half, or
Hmm.
if you're in a group, and you can enjoy it at, you can experiment and enjoy it very well. So I'm 100% versatile.
That's a really interesting perspective. So let me ask you this to continue on this path. On screen, do you prefer one-on-ones or threesomes or groups?
you
Or does it
know
matter?
you I could say it doesn't matter, but uh that depends. When it's one on one, it makes you work harder because you have to be noticed, and that's
Mm.
one of the difficulties that sometimes we see in the industry is that, for me, the performance are equal. As important is the top, as important is the bottom. If
Mm.
you're a top, you have to show that you're real top. Not because I'm in the real life I'm a top. No. You have to know, you have to show how you use your dick, no matter what
Hmm.
size it is. And if it's a bottom, you have to show that you really have pleasure for that bottom. I think that a bottom in porn is more difficult than topping.
Mm.
You know, in if you want to take it to a manly perspective,
Well,
hey, you have to enjoy it. You have
well,
to really enjoy it as a man.
well, let me push back a little bit because you give me a very interesting perspective. I would think that the top I would think it would be more difficult to be a top than a bottom because for me, if I did porn, if I weren't into the person, I couldn't get it up.
The the top got some things, some enhancements that could be provided online,
Mm. Uh-huh.
that it could make it go to the top. If it's a person that is work oriented and knows what he's doing, no matter what. Yes, they got to be chemistry. I don't deny that. And if there's a chemistry, that would be fantastic. But we also work with the demand of the public, the viewer.
Right.
And sometimes, if he gets it to, if I could say, partner with somebody that maybe you don't get along, but you have to get the job done. So
Right.
uh, it says let's you have to uh, free your mind and keep your mind on the job.
Right. Right. Right.
But bottom is that the bottom, even though that maybe he could get a lot of pleasure, but he has to take a lot,
That makes
and
sense. Hmm.
that somebody who's bottom could agree, and I say could, no can, could, uh, that sometimes it take a little bit to recover from
Hmm.
that pounding to go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I bet.
and it could vary. I could tell you.
Oh Lord.
And at one point, maybe you could be, if I could say, prepare very well to what is coming. But sometimes you can get up by surprise with some tops that their style you got you out of guard. And I have a very nice story about that.
Oh God. We're going to save that for another time because
Okay.
this is what I want to ask you. Specialty sex or fetishes are part of the porn industry. That can be a niche. For example, fisting and golden showers and scat. Tancredo, is there anything you would not do on film that you simply are not down for?
Scat.
Understandably.
No, I don't do that. No, no, no. I don't work. There's, if I could say something if I could say in my taste, I like things clean.
hmm My
And
list,
that's not something that I would get into. I would never experiment with that.
my listeners, if you don't know what scat is, I'm not going to tell you. You just look it up.
Yes.
You look it up, and I totally get you on that one, Tancredo.
Hmm.
Let's talk about. Yeah, look it up, everybody. Look it up. Okay, let's talk COVID. I mean, transmission occurs from person to person, via respiratory droplets. It's airborne. So talking and swapping spit spreads the little critters. So here's the question to you. How is the porn industry protecting its performers? What safety practices have they put in place?
I know that some studios are testing the performers
Mhm.
to make sure that they are COVID free. And of course, that they got to the performers and everybody in the set got to follow the procedures from the state that is taking place the shooting, and get tested in order
Mhm.
to certify that their status and continue with working. I have to say that COVID, I have uh, make a little me being careful in to do some jobs during this year. And in fact, I only did one scene.
Ah,
Besides that, there are other circumstances that limited my time. But I have been very careful. I lost several friends
oh, I'm so sorry.
to COVID during this year. The most
Mhm.
recent, the most recent about a month ago,
Wow.
and I am very very careful about my health. Thank God, so far I have tested negative to COVID, and I'm trying to keep it like that.
And I totally get that. And that leads me to something else here. You know, you tied the knot some time ago, and WyattEvans.com, the go to destination for leading news, features, and entertainment for the LGBTQ community and its allies. WyattEvans.com did a feature on your intimate wedding. So obviously, your partner supports your adult entertainment career.
Yes, he does. In fact, when I was invited to do my first scene, I talked to him. He knew
Mm-hmm.
that I was pursuing that, and he gave me, the blessing to do it. Um, there was a time uh, we were kind of estranged, but
Mm-hmm.
but not separate, and but still. Um, I keep the, if I could say, the respect regarding what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it is at this point, after we tie the knots, then we keep supporting each other. So he supports what I'm doing because for me this is a job. It's not a if I could say a free fall. It's it's a job.
Okay, I get it.
Hmm.
Not a free for all. I love it.
Uh-huh. It's a job.
Okay. Tancredo, do you guys ever watch your scenes together?
No,
Why?
I am so self-conscious.
Come on. You look. Now, you're self-conscious. You're not self. Listen, you're not self-conscious in those movies.
But
Listen.
when I see myself in the screen, I say I can't see myself.
Well, let me ask you: is it like as you're watching yourself on screen? Is it like an out-of-body experience for you?
What it makes me remember is what happened back behind the scenes instead of what we were doing. The final product, and I, if I could say, if he watch my scenes, I let him watch it by himself, and he judge because
Oh,
because I'm very so. Remember one time I was watching one of my scenes, and it was like oh my god, I should have done this. Oh, I should have done that. It was, it was going again and again of what I should have doing or not, and we said, well, okay, that was the final product. So,
well, okay. Let's build on that a little bit. So, are you saying that if he watches your film after he's finished, he has a list of things that you should have done better?
oh no, 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 no. That is more me than him. No, he
Okay.
just enjoy it.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Sex Guru, let me ask you this for our listeners. Give us 3 tips that can make our sex lives even hotter.
uh, well, be the best whore to your partner.
Expound.
You know, uh, the best thing for sex lives is, if you have the chemistry and you love to have sex with your partner, hey, you don't have nothing else to look for. It's about please
Mm-hmm.
your partner, uh, be, if I could say, innovative,
Mm-hmm.
and have to each other every day. I know
Oh.
sometimes the temptations run around the air, the society, and now with social media is worst. But it's about look, say something nice, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you and your partner are open to do things like open relationships, and that you can experiment, that is something that is not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, we have done it for the 18 years that we are together, and it's still working for us.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily say, hey, it's good for everybody. No, it's not good for everybody. Um, and there's some requirements that you have to know with who you are messing with,
Right.
and never think that it's a license to play around, fool around, if I could say so. It's just simply another way to enjoy sex together.
Got it.
But if did I say three already?
I think you did.
Yeah, but the of the three, the most is pleasing. Pleasing. If there's no pleasing in there, you can communicate there what you like or not, and get into a medium. You know.
All right, y'all. Are you all listening to this? These are the tips to keep the fire in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! You know what?
Uh-huh.
Guess who just pulled up to the mic?
Oh no! Don't
Oh
tell
yes,
me.
my sidekick, Madam Pussygalore Cockadoodledoo, drag
Oh.
queen supreme.
Oh dear.
She wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Can she talk to you?
Hey, Miss Brucey.
Mr. Buff, I just love you, Mr. Buff. You know, I love all of your work. Okay. First of all, I need to get Mr. Wyatt O'Brien Evans straight because you know what? As Diana Ross says, it's now my turn to see what I can see.
Uh-huh. Can you see
Well,
it?
I want to see you. You know what? I just have one question. I mean, just clutch the pearls and stop the train. Now, Mr. Buff, you know what? I think, well, actually, this is what it is. I just love me some daddies, particularly some hot Puerto Rican daddies like you. What do you think about that?
That's good news for me. Oh, because I like when they say that they like hot Puerto Rican daddies, and well, if you can see me, if you can jump into the plane right now. Oh well, not right now because COVID has a lot of limitations in Puerto Rico at this
Mm,
point.
oh, really?
However, there's
Oh,
a lot of Puerto Rican daddies in the island that they are very 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 willing to please you the
oh, uh,
way the way I do.
oh my God. All I can say, Mr. Bass, is
Mhm.
caliente, caliente.
Exactly. Bien caliente.
Oh my God. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just gonna have to leave because I'm just so hot. You know what? Let me tell you something, Mr. Bath, Mr. Big Bath.
Yes.
You know what? Whenever I see your videos, do you know what happens to me?
Don't tell me. You start singing the blues.
Well, no, I don't. I start singing soprano. But anyway,
Oh,
my
okay.
yes, I sing soprano. But you know what? My breastises, they start to sweat and swell, and then they become perky. Is that a normal reaction?
I think so. It happens to me recently watching a show, and it happens that I have my husband with me, and we were watching, and suddenly we said, it was like a synchronized. Oh my God, it's so hot here. So
You know what?
yes, yes.
I'm shutting this down right now. Madam, get out. As Arnold would say, get out. Oh, Mr. Wyatt O'Brien Evans. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Bye, Pussy.
Tancredo, just ignore her shenanigans. Okay, look, you are a longtime HIV/AIDS activist. You know, you've done your fair share of advocacy and volunteerism. After nearly 40 years with the epidemic, how important is it to still, keep our eyes on the ball, if you will, regarding HIV and AIDS?
First of all, that there's not a cure right now, even though that with some advance in medicine, the HIV is could be, for example, manageable. And right
Hmm.
now with this program called PrEP, uh, that help to prevent the contagious of HIV. However, it's not the end of the road. They're still waiting for something that could cure the virus,
Hmm.
and I think everybody. and not only the LGBTQ community, got to be vigilant about it, but also keep inform yourself about the different treatments with your local clinic or whoever can do prevention and outreach of information of the HIV. Don't fill yourself with fears, because I think that one of the biggest problems of reaching to the communities is spreading fear and misinformation.
Mhm.
And it's important to get well informed about it and the different ways that can practice sex uh, right now.
Right. Right. That makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Hmm.
Um, Getting back to the industry, what changes would you make to enable the industry to be better for its performers?
That they, if I could say so, it's to represent the different type of men, so different type of taste that the viewers can have. You know, porn is not seen by one community in particular,
Hmm.
any one country in particular, one zone in particular. Is around the world. And you could be surprised how many messages I receive from people from other parts of the world that say, "How did my videos got there?" And it's
Hmm.
they're open to be watched around the world. And maybe I represent the type of men that they like.
Right.
And I think that's a way to explore, the present a deeper type of men's, not as a, not the right word is not a fetish. It's the right word is like a preference of a taste,
Right.
but as equally sexually attractive men.
Right.
I know that the majority are shizu bodies, and of course, when they look for a 10-inch and up dick and plus dick, they they look at it as a plus. However, it's not a guarantee that something that is big could work and please the viewer as they like it, because I have seen very lousy videos with people with big dicks.
I have too. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I
Yeah,
hear ya.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and let me tell you, now that you bring that subject to the air,
Hmm.
uh, right now there's so many changes, and the access to streaming by people make it the market wide
Right.
to present that. Uh, Not necessarily they're making a lot of money, but they're getting a lot of exposure, and most of them are not supported by any studio. And it happens that the studio
Hmm.
then try to reach those guys to see if they can work for them. Uh, some of these studios are practically move into the more streaming, create channels in OnlyFans or just for fans or any other streaming
Hmm.
capacity, Pornhub, uh, to create their own channels so they can access, the people can access. And you know why? Because the people go more to those app or streaming channels rather than going to the website of the studios.
So what you're saying is that there are more independent, only fan type productions going on out there by independent performers.
That's correct. That it has practically opened the gate to a lot of people that maybe has been rejected by many studios to do their
Oh,
own work and expose it to the world, and it had been successful for many of them. And myself, I'm moving into start that type of streaming. I already collaborated with another porn star from the area, and it's going very well for him. I will make it a try too. But in my case, I have some other responsibilities, and
hmm.
it's a matter of distribution of time in order to do that.
Well, I definitely have to have you back on so you can tell the audience your progress with that.
Yes, it would be a pleasure.
Oh, and Madam would love to spar with you again.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you this. What do you have on tap for the new year for 2021? What's going on?
Well, I have to come with the most recent thing before I move to 2021. I'm collaborating with uprising porn star named Tony Cruz.
Oh,
Uh, Tony and I shot a scene for his Just for Fun website, and it's already available for the viewers.
okay.
Just go for justforfan.com and look for Tony Cruz. And he's been filming with some of the local guys around the area. I am expecting to collaborate again with him maybe next week. We are planning to do several scenes, some for him and uh, some for what it could become my Just for Fan page. Also, I'm expecting to contribute with a studio that is called Charge Up Media. They just started last year, and they've been projecting to do some works during next year. They invited me to do some works this year, but I have to decline because I had a personal matter to take off, and that took
Sure.
me time off. But I'm expecting to collaborate for them soon
Hmm.
during 2021. That they have a very nice, very nice plans to do some productions, and also I'm looking to for any of the studios that are around that I have producers that I have worked in the past, or any other producer that could be interesting in my services. I'm just available to negotiate with you. Just got to reach me through my Twitter page,
Hmm.
TANCREDO BUFF. You can reach me in my two accounts of Facebook that is also called TANCREDO BUFF. And also you can reach me at tancredobuff at live.com. That is my personal email. And not only for any producer that want to reach any guy who would like to work with me, um, also to the fans if they want to speak to me for any question.
Hmm.
I would be glad to answer that. Also, another in the side, if I could say so, uh, many of you know that I'm very into photography, and I'm thinking to do a series of photography shootings around my area. Maybe I could move out of the area if COVID-19
Hmm.
allows, but uh, I'm have several plans, even to invite people to do I can do portraits for them and do, if I could say, a nice presentation about portraits of people in the area. And also, I could be available to do any kind of project that you would like to me to do. So it's just a matter of contact me at TANCREDO BUFF at live.com or through my Twitter, TANCREDO BUFF, or to my two accounts on Facebook.
Poppy, you've got a hell of a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
My
Beside,
God.
beside, I haven't told the people I have a regular job too. I can't disclose it for now,
Sure.
but the reason of that regular job because is that when not all the time uh, porn performers uh, are called by studios, and mostly at this time of the pandemic,
Hmm.
most of them are at risk because they are people that around the area that could work for them, but a, a porn the porn industry you not necessarily can live,
Right.
and you have to pay bills, you have to eat, you have to dress up. So
Hmm.
I got my regular job, which I don't complain. I do very well. I have a very nice income for with that, and at the same time, it helped me to uh, pay the budget for my
Hmm.
productions.
Well, you know what, Tangredo, in this economic climate, you have to have like two, three, five, six, seven jobs.
Yes, that's true. And
So,
also remember that in porn industry, one day you're up, one day you're down. It's
right.
like the fashion industry. You have heard that in several shows, and and you have to be prepared when things are fading down,
Hmm.
and in getting to or reinvent yourself or move on to other venues, and some people has successfully done that transition, and some otherly unfortunately they haven't. And I have heard about performers that have committed suicide
Right.
because they couldn't get to do anything else but what they were doing.
Well, you know what, everyone? This is sound advice for anybody in any profession. And Mr. Tancredo Buff, I want to thank you for visiting Wyatt. I want you back.
It's a pleasure.
Well, y'all, so there you have it. You can find the official Wyatt podcast page on WyattEvans.com. The official Twitter hashtag is Wyatt on Air. And if you want to be a guest on Wyatt or you just have comments, email me at WyattOnAir@gmail.com. And you can follow me, your host, Wyatt O'Brien Evans, on Facebook.com/Wyatt O'Brien Evans, on Twitter at Mr. Woe, and on Instagram at Mr. Wyatt O, MrWyatto. And be sure to check out my Nothing Can Tear Us Apart novels, the latest being Frenzy, and its predecessor, Rage, all at WyattEvans.com. So until next time, y'all, woof, goddammit, woof, woof, woof. Oh, Mr. Well, Mr. Wyatt O'Brien Evans, just shut up.